So here is the Galileo finished. I decided to go with the stock decals after all. The model has been sitting on my build list for at least the last 2 years. So having gotten it fully assembled, I just wanted to knock it off. Didn't feel like waiting for the day I eventually make some custom decals. Problem with these decals is that this was either a 90s or an 80s re-release, which makes them 15 to 25 years old, and they went down really poorly. I'll try and get some of that in the video, and hopefully the YouTube compression will allow for it to be seen. But they wrinkled up, they shriveled, they stretched, they almost ripped but didn't quite, so I was happy about that. Let's get to those, but let's hit a couple of the things that I should have fixed but did not. So right here on the door edge there, you can probably see a big paint chip. I had mentioned I was going to fix it, but decided not to. There's a doorbell decal that goes right in that area, and I initially covered the paint chip with that. However, when I was applying the other decals on this side, that came off with my finger and was completely lost. Over here on the front, you'll also see a couple other chips, most notably above that center window. All of these happened while I was pulling the tape out of the inside, and I've definitely thought about how to make that a little better the next time, and basically tape some tape to itself at the edge and use that as a loop so you can pull it off. When I had put the tape on the inside of the windows and the door, I just did it flat on as strongly as I could. So that was a mistake. The other most notable chip is right there on the trailing edge of that line. And while we're back here, I'll show off the mini model Madness accuratization parts. You get 4 of those landing struts. I lost one, broke another, and that left me with 2. So I put those on the back, but they add a lot of stability to the nacelles and the pylons. You get that landing gear there, which is far more accurate than the one that came with the kit. You get 2 more for the front of the nacelles, but I decided to go with the original there. You get that decal for the registration number, and of course you get this really awesome back engine piece. And if you know the original Galileo kit, this is basically a square box, and for the cost of about $20, maybe $25 shipped, this accuratization kit is really well worth it. You may double the price of what you pay for the model, but the effect is just really stunning. There's no other comparison really for it. One other problem I found when I was looking at some pictures is that this top line is really crooked, as is the other side. That occurred when I was sanding it down and doing the surgery to put the engine in. So I had sliced all the way up to about here on each side, and trying to get that fixed again was definitely a problem. Looks like there's a little bit of a paint drip in there as well that I didn't see before. But overall, I'm satisfied with it. Like I say, it's been sitting around for so long now, I just had to get it off my shelf and into a display mode. Let me see if I can get some of the light around to show off some of the decal problems. No. I'm really surprised that this side went down really well at all, because the entire thing had wrinkled up like a prune even after I had put the setting solution on it. And maybe the video will pick up some of the problems. These decals are also under 2 layers of gloss, and they still show their edges pretty strongly, which is unfortunate, but such happens. JT Graphics, if you look around for them, has much more accurate decals that are far better quality than any stock decal, and those can go for another $10, $15, or even $20, but if you're looking at putting down a piece of crap decal such as the Galileo one here on the front, you know, something like this can ruin your model, but throwing a few extra bucks at it for a good decal will of course make it that much better. Let me see if I can get some light on the inside here. So I'm pretty happy with the interior. I'd say the back wall definitely paid off as far as details go. I don't think I can really get too much closer. Oh, there we go. It's a little closer. So it looks like I'll have to do a little flat black around the door opening there where some of the gloss got through. That's okay. The salmon color came out pretty well overall. And in some cases, the wall monitors, computer terminals, look pretty good. I should not have printed out the shadow for them, and they only look correct from the front angle because you might be able to see here I did some forced perspective in showing one side over the other. So actually building these out in a few pieces of styrene would have been the best solution, of course, but for a cheap fix it worked pretty well. The little sensor dome thing, whatever it is there, was just a small round piece of plastic with a piece of cut styrene sheet to act as the arm. I don't know if I'll get the astrogator there. That kind of shows up. There it is. So that was the lower dome off AMT 18-inch Enterprise. And you can kind of see some of the paint jobs still. Putting a few fiber optic strands with some LEDs in this would have been a nice touch, but I didn't really feel like wiring it up like that. So maybe I'll get another one of these sometime, and everything I learned on this one I can definitely apply to the next one and make that one that much better. Looks like we might get some of the light hit showing some of the problems with the decals here. I can definitely see it here, but whether the YouTube compression will allow it to show through or not, I can't really say at this point. But as always, I'm happy to share some of my mistakes and definitely the successes as well. This I would call maybe a B, C+, somewhere in there. Maybe a B-. It did come out relatively nice aside from some obvious and distinct flaws. But I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm glad to finally have it done after 2 years, that's for certain. And once I have the diorama all wired up and everything's finished, I'll take a couple more shots of this lit up. And that will be some of the final videos. I just wanted to show this off as the model itself. And overall, definitely pick one of these up. Get the accuratization kit. Get JT Graphics decals, and you're going to have a really great model on your hands. All told, figure if you get the kit for $20 on eBay, the accuratization kit for maybe another $25, the decals for $15, it certainly adds up, and you're looking at almost $80, if not $100, depending on how much you have to pay for the model itself. But you get a nice little kit. And of course, there's also the Randy Cooper resin model, which is just about a foot long, and I think that's 1/24th scale, whereas this one is 1/35th. That runs for $200 to $300, so it's not that much more of an investment, I suppose, and I wouldn't mind getting one of them. I've certainly learned a lot on building this one, and if I do get the more expensive resin, then I've definitely gotten some good practice on it. So hope some of the successes and failures in building this one helped you guys out and gave you some ideas. Certainly on the wiring at least, and if not on the assembly and decaling as well. Probably the biggest lesson I'd say here is do not go with 15 to 25-year-old decals. Other than that, I think that's about it for Galileo until I get the flight deck done. And thanks everybody for watching. I always appreciate it. And I'll catch y'all on the next video.